In the fading centuries of Roman supremacy, beyond the empire's guarded frontiers, pressure from the east, Hunnic expansion, forced entire nations into motion.
On the last night of the year 406, the frozen Rhine became a bridge.
Gaul trembled as imperial defenses faltered. The Vandals moved not as raiders alone, but as a migrating people seeking land. By 409, the Vandals entered Hispania. Hardship refined their leader. Geiseric's authority.
428, Geiseric claimed kingship. Ruthless, calculating, disciplined, he united Vandals and Alans beneath a single will.
In 429, Geiseric made a decision that would reshape history. The Vandals crossed into Roman Africa. North Africa, Rome's breadbasket, stood before them. Wealth and power lay beyond the horizon. Across fertile plains they advanced, cutting into the empire's lifeline. Hippo Regius endured siege. Within its walls, St. Augustine would take his final breath. As the empire's faith sought comfort, one of its greatest minds passed into history. Rome conceded territory in 435. It was a fragile peace, temporary and calculated. In 439, Carthage fell without warning. Rome's grain and fleet were lost.
From Carthage, the Vandals commanded the sea.
Rome's breadbasket now fed its rival.
Sicily felt their reach. The Mediterranean trembled. In 455, Geiseric entered Rome itself. For 2 weeks, the Eternal City endured humiliation.
The Western Empire fractured beyond repair. Rome's greatest counterattack collapsed in flame and salt water.
From Carthage, Geiseric ruled not as a wanderer, but as a sovereign. The harbor that was. The Vandals practiced Arian Christianity, distinct from Rome's creed.
Sea lanes fell under Vandal command. Sardinia, Corsica, and Sicily felt their shadow. Strategic islands secured the empire's former lifelines. The Mediterranean was no longer Rome's private sea. Envoys arrived bearing tribute and pleas. Power had shifted, and Rome knew it. Shipyards labored without pause. Timber and iron forged maritime supremacy.
Africa's fertile plains remained productive. Grain still flowed, but not toward Rome.
Across the West, imperial authority splintered into rival realms. In Carthage, cultures intertwined. Conquerors and conquered adapted to shared streets. A kingdom survives only if its strength renews itself. Decades of war etched themselves into his face, yet the will behind those eyes remained unbroken.
In 477, the architect of Vandal power passed from the world.
In Constantinople, the Eastern Empire watched and calculated.
Emperor Justinian dreamed of restoration. Africa would be reclaimed.
Under General Belisarius, an expedition assembled, disciplined, and relentless. The tide that once carried the Vandals to glory would now return, bearing their reckoning. The army advanced steadily, careful and precise. Every step carried the weight of imperial restoration. At Ad Decimum, near Carthage, Vandal resistance met the sharpened edge of Byzantine strategy.
In 533, the Eastern Roman Empire struck back. Belisarius landed on African soil with disciplined resolve.
The formations that once terrorized the Mediterranean began to fracture.
Carthage opened its gates. The city changed masters once more.
Gelimer, last king of the Vandals, fled inland, his kingdom unraveling. At Tricamarum, the final resistance collapsed beneath relentless assault.
The last Vandal king surrendered. A century of power ended in quiet submission. In Constantinople, victory was celebrated. Africa was restored to imperial control. The Vandals vanished as rulers, but their passage reshaped the Mediterranean world forever.
But their impact endured, in stone, in memory, in consequence.
Migration, ambition, survival, forces that shaped an age.
The balance of power had shifted forever.